first. All right, we're all live. We're live.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Like fully live?
Yep.
Right.
I don't even believe Seti. Are we live? Seti, wow. Okay, we are live.
All right.
Wow, that's fantastic. Seti just starting up the stream. Just for everyone to know, Seti started up the stream before I was even ready. How do you feel about that?
You were ready.
I wasn't. I was still...
Oh, no, I've been here for like 20 minutes beforehand.
Paul said, hello, boys. Hello, Paul. We are here in the studio, ready. Seti said, hey, Paul. Seti's feeling a bit talkative today. Yeah. But Paul in the stream.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, you just started.
Welcome back.
No, we gotta have a better. We gotta have a better start. Okay.
Welcome back to Class on Grass Podcast, Season 3, Episode 7.
Indeed. We're back in the studio. A fair amount happened this week. Probably, I'd say 30-minute recap, and then, as requested 2 weeks ago by Mr. Paul Strom, we are going to do an interactive quiz with the chat. See who gets a high score. Just give the boys in the chat a little bit of stuff to do, other than research for us. And yeah, if you're listening live right now, hello. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you were able to clear some time to watch this. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever podcast platform after, come join us live. We're doing it pretty much every Sunday. If you want to know the exact time, well, not the exact time. If you want to know the ballpark time of when we start, follow us on Instagram at Class on Grass Media. We put it on our story. Today we said 2:45. It was more like 3:05. But ballpark time. And yeah. Without further ado, we can get started with the Asani of the week for this week. If you don't know who the Asani of the week is, it is the best player, or it's the award we give to the best player of Europe every week. And the award this week goes to Roberto Firmino. Not someone we would have expected getting it really ever.
No. I mean,
like,
not in at least the past 2 or 3 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yes, he did score a hat trick after not scoring.
Again,
really
not something we would expect to hear.
Against Watford in their 5-0 win. Salah also had a brace, I believe.
Yeah.
And
no. I believe
just one goal.
I think he had 1 goal and 1 assist. So
Yeah.
let me check. I think it was Salah and Mane. Salah and Mane. And then if we look at the assists, I know Salah had a fantastic game.
He had the assist to Mane's goal. I know that.
Firmino also, he had the assist to Mane's goal. Firmino also had an assist on top of that.
Yeah.
3-goal hat trick, which is just ridiculous.
Also, one thing I saw was it was like 100-something people triple captain Firmino this weekend. Which who like wakes up in the morning and says,
so 100 is, so what is there, like 9 million people that play FPL?
Yeah.
Let me do some math here. It's a small number. It's a very small number, but like.
But still, to be like, I'm going to captain a guy who gets maybe 2 points a week, if that.
So it's 1 in 90,000. So I don't really know what the.
Did you have to just do the calculator for that? Okay.
And that's actually true. I probably shouldn't have calculated for that.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, it's 1 in 90,000, which is like not that. That's like if you took like an entire city and like one person did it.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, Paul, they had to be time travelers because even if it's Watford and you're like, oh, they're gonna crush them.
How do you know?
Why wouldn't you triple captain Salah?
And
or
like,
Mane
Firmino like doesn't always start.
No, exactly.
I don't know what the.
And he doesn't always score.
It had
or
to be
assist,
die-hard Firmino fans, or
it must have been Liverpool fans or something.
Something of the sorts. I mean,
either way,
craziness.
Maybe we see a turnaround for him this season.
Well, I don't think he's really a goal scorer. No matter what.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he'll be putting in numbers like a hat trick or so every once in a while. Even I think this might be the only number of goals he scores in a game throughout the season. Maybe we'll see a brace, maybe not. Maybe we'll see a goal here and there. I think we'll get some more assists, maybe if this spurs him to some confidence. But then again, so I'm not obviously keeping up with Liverpool as much as I should, probably. As you know, I was just watching the highlights before this of that game. But Diego Jota has been playing in that Roberto Firmino position for the past couple games. I'm checking to see if he's injured right now. So he isn't. He was on the bench. So I'm kind of confused as to what is happening there. I know he's not been in a great run of form, but
Yeah, and I think Jota has been doing well when he was starting for
Well,
them.
so he scores goals every once in a while, right? He has
Yeah.
those tap-ins and headers and stuff, but apparently he was in a poor run of form, generally speaking, for like his touches and his contributions. So maybe Klopp was trying to switch some things up.
Well, and Firmino's been their striker for a while now, so it's kind of hard. If Jota wasn't on form, why would you not put Firmino, who has been your guy?
Would you be happy if you triple captained him this week and then he got 3 goals, or would you have been like, oh, I wish I would have triple captained like Salah another week when he got like 4 goals or something? I don't know. I for some reason I feel like I would have been more like satisfied if I triple captained someone like that was actually good on a week on a week where I felt like
you didn't expect
Firmino.
Firmino
No, like I didn't expect from me. I feel like those people were just like doing it because like they had
as
no
a joke.
idea. They had no idea what FPL was, or it was like a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no way that people are triple captaining Firmino to win FPL.
I don't know. I think, like you said, even if it's 1 in 90,000, there's got to be some.
What's the like 0.0? Is that like what 5 zeros? No. Yeah. 0.00001.
9, right?
No, it's 1.
Let's not do math. We've tried to do math before, but
yeah, I feel like Paul and Dom are really disappointed now about my math skills.
Anyway, Liverpool did win big. Salah had another great dribbling run, similar to his Man City goal.
Great bounce back from the last time they played Watford.
Yes,
and obviously the game that broke their
winning streak.
Yeah, their winning streak. Well, their undefeated streak.
Oh yeah.
And made it so that they wouldn't have an invincible season. I know all Arsenal fans celebrated after that victory from Watford and crazy show that Ismail Sarr put on, but obviously we did not get that again, and Liverpool continue to do well. I was wondering what you think. So I know the XG or whatever table it was made by a supercomputer came out like this past week. It's already been proven wrong in many like circumstances for what happened this week, but I was wondering what you thought about like the top and bottom half. I know you're not going to be too happy about the whole Southampton relegated thing, but just like what you think about it. I'm going to just pull it up.
Well, I remember we were joking about it. They said Southampton would get 0 wins.
I just don't see how that's possible.
And like 20-something draws.
21.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up, though, for exact reference.
But, either way, I'd say we're probably not going to be far behind. I still, obviously, as a fan, don't think we'll get relegated, but...
Yeah. So it had for top 4, and I'm wondering what you think about this. Had champions as Chelsea, 2 as Liverpool, 3 as Man City, and 4 as Brentford, which is an interesting one to put at 4. I don't really know how that's going to go. And then the bottom half, they had Norwich, Southampton, and Burnley in the relegation spot, and then Newcastle and Leeds just above them. Some weird ones in there was Arsenal at 13, and then Tottenham at 12. I mean, it's not like weird, but it's like also,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
It's a strange one just to think that like a computer would predict that. And then Brighton and 8. It's just like, what?
I'd like to know what the supercomputer is and what it's taking into account, because it's just like, if it's just form, then obviously we didn't have any wins, so they wouldn't put in any wins.
Yeah, well, it's just weird. They said 0 wins, 21 draws, and 17 losses. Like, I feel like the chances of that happening are like lower than the chances of you guys winning the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's probably not true. But
for
like,
a team,
no wins
for a team,
and 21 draws.
For a team not to win a single game, even Sheffield won a game last year and they hadn't won.
It just seems like impossible.
Yeah.
And also to not win a single game and not finish last.
Yeah. Like, how did Norwich?
How did Norwich get below Southampton yet won 2 games? I mean, obviously the points just add up to that in general, but I mean, there was some weird stuff. Brighton with only 14 let me see here, 14 goals against over the whole season. Not really sure how that would go, although we are, like, that being said, our defense is doing fine, but we did just tie to Norwich.
Yeah, not great.
Did you watch the game?
I saw 2 highlights that NBC had.
So first off, Josh Sargent was absolutely awful. He was so bad. Like, I was cheering for them to pass it to Sargent,
Mhm.
like during the game. Not as a U.S. fan.
Yeah.
Like I was like, pass to Sargent. Like I don't care, just pass it.
Yeah.
There was one, Sargent is through in goal. He takes his touch towards Dan Burn, not towards the goal, but towards Dan Burn.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Burn just takes it away. Like this guy is through in goal and he takes a 60-degree angled touch away from the goal. It was just really strange. And then the other one, he gets past the keeper, him and the goal. That's it.
At about 20 yards out.
20 yards out. You need to hit it with some pace.
Not even a lot to the side. It was pretty central.
It was probably at the corner of the box.
No, not even.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably at the corner of the box. That being said, maybe 20 yards away from the
But
goal.
as a Premier League player, I think you should be able
It's
to
a target of what?
like
What is
10 yards. I
Yeah,
don't know.
10 yards. No, not 10. Yeah, maybe 10 yards wide.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like that target. And then, right, all you got to do is just put it in there. And, I mean, I don't even know if it would have gotten
I
in the
don't
goal.
think it was like look. I've seen it like 5 times now. I think it was not going in either.
Like, it wasn't going out either. It just was going to stop.
No, yes.
He hit it like he was setting up someone for a shot.
Yeah.
Like he was
Like he was
passing
playing
it
a
back,
through ball.
Yeah, like a great little 10-yard through ball.
Yeah.
But then Dan Burn just slowly jogged.
Kind of jogged
And
into-
grabbed the ball and turned.
Had
He didn't
time.
hit it out. He turned.
Had time to turn.
And then ran up the field.
Yeah. So
That is so poor from Josh.
I
And
mean-
his overall hold-up play was just bad.
It wasn't his fault.
How is it not his fault,
Wasn't
Seti?
his fault.
You did not watch the game.
I'm just saying, it wasn't his fault.
You
Uh,
did
He
not
can't
watch the
do
game.
anything wrong. He can't do anything wrong.
Paul said Ismail Assar deserves a statue outside the Emirates after ending Liverpool's unbeaten run. Yeah, I mean he had a great game. What was it? 2 years ago? It was like a year and 3/4 ago or something like that.
2 years because
2 seasons ago.
2 seasons because they were in championship last year.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I'm assuming Paul, you had a little like happy dance after Ismail Assar had that fantastic game, and then Paul said it also had Chelsea conceding only 4 goals all season. I just don't really
Have
see.
they must have already conceded 4 goals.
Let's see, not 4, but let's see. Let's pull up the Premier League table and see what that would mean for them. Okay. Okay, so Chelsea right now, 19 points, goal difference 13. Are they not going to show us how many goals they've conceded? Do they not do that? Stats. Well, it's not on here. Wait, why is it all seasons? 21-22. Clean sheets 5, goals conceded 3. So
they'd have to only concede 1
that would mean
in like 30 games.
I don't know how it comes up with the algorithm
That's what I was saying.
to make these claims.
Yeah.
It's a supercomputer. How?
Yeah.
How is it super if you're saying that? Like what?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
I guess moving on to Chelsea, they did have a clean sheet again against Brentford.
And
Mendy had some incredible saves. Second half especially had 6 saves, 7 in the whole game, which for a goalkeeper in one game, 7 saves is very good. Did you see the final save at like the 92nd minute? Cross came in. I think I don't even know who it was. Maybe no, I'm not even gonna try to know. It is a Brentford player, but he chested it and then bicycle kicked it, all in like one motion in the air, and then Mendy tipped it over the bar. But it was in the last minute to equalize, and like it was a very good bicycle kick, a lot of power, and he just tipped it over the bar. It was an incredible save. But yeah, everyone was saying like Brentford had like 15 shots in the second half to Chelsea's 1.
You know what? The stat that I was looking at that's just baffling is Romelu Lukaku has been involved in 0 goals in the last 6 games. That's not, and then right. So I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Well, like it is right, but it doesn't seem right for his position, obviously. And then I go to the comments, and everyone's like, oh, but he is doing so well helping the team attack, and he's bringing the ball up, and he's creating chances. Okay, that's what you said about Timo Werner. You brought him in to score, though.
Yeah.
Like, you're bringing these players in to score. So if they're not scoring, they're not doing their job. Like, I don't think, like, there's only so, like, I give it to you with Timo Werner as a great winger. You don't play Lukaku on the wing. You play him at 9. And if you're playing him at 9,
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he
he's
looked
gotta get
incredible
goals.
in the first couple
Oh,
games.
so good. And I think he could bounce back.
No, yeah, I think he will too. And Chelsea are still winning, so
Yeah,
it's
it's not a huge deal right
yeah.
now.
So
But, I mean, that being said, 6 games without a goal, it's time to say, Rom, let's kick it into action. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, it's the number 9 curse at Chelsea is what Dom said. Exactly. And then going back, Dom, you said Man United was horrific this week. Maguire did not look fit at all.
yeah, so
They lost to Leicester 4-2. First off, let's talk about the good. The good was that the game was fantastic.
great game.
Unbelievable.
I feel like every
game.
Man U Leicester game are usually
Such a good game.
very entertaining.
The goals were awesome. Mason
Yep.
Greenwood, take a bow. That no matter the results,
Yeah, great
that
goal.
will stay with him forever. That was an incredible.
Tielemans following it up another.
Tielemans followed it up. I don't think it was as good of a goal.
No, and it was one of those where it was like, is it a cross? Is it
it
a
was
shot?
a looping
Yeah.
ball.
But still, he put it in the top
Yeah,
corner.
He did. And well, not only like it was just it's so in that top corner, in that upper 90 that it's like that's unreal. Like
Yeah.
it was
Especially
to the
off
point
of like
where
a
the
chip.
ball was like if you were to just put a ball right next to where the chip
Yeah.
was to meet, that's where it went. You know what I mean?
Especially from a chip to have it
Yeah.
drop right there. It's
Yeah,
like
it's unreal.
incredible.
It's just ridiculous.
Is he underrated for you?
Thielen is one of my favorite center mids in the Prem. Like he's fantastic.
I think people know he's good, but
They don't talk about it
No.
much. But yeah, he's definitely good. And then obviously Jamie Vardy getting on the score sheet. Patson Daka getting on the score sheet, which I think is great because he's had a number of disallowed goals this season due to offsides, and he's a really good striker. Do you know Patson Daka? He's the guy they signed from RB Salzburg last year,
Yeah.
I believe. He had like 31 goals over the course of the season, so he knows how to find the net. And he just needs to find his form. And with all those disallowed goals, I think he had one that stood that was in the Europa League. But other than that, I think he had like 2 or 3 offside goals, which is just crazy.
Yeah, and even before that, Rashford comes on. I believe first appearance.
Patson was the last goal of the game.
Yeah, Rashford comes on first appearance for a while after his surgery, and then great goal, actually good finish, kind of classic Marcus Rashford 1-on-1 with the goalie.
Yep.
And then literally right off of kickoff, as Paul said, 15 seconds after they scored, Ayuzi Perez just kind of
What a legend.
dribbles down. Vardy we didn't even talk really about Vardy's finish was incredible as well. Like a little quick bounce right before he hit it, and he struck it well.
Vardy is like maybe one of the most underrated strikers of all time,
Really,
in my opinion. I don't think people like he is so good. He's so good.
I think he definitely.
He's only rated because of his story. People never are like, this guy's actual pure class. People are like, oh, look, he's made it to the Premier League. He's a gritty Englishman. He was a construction worker. He made it up through the non-leagues and the league system, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, it was such a great story. But then, like, at the same time, he's also one of the best strikers in the world and has been for a while.
I mean, he's, I believe, second on goals
Let me check.
this
just to make sure
season.
that we're
I was
not-
just looking at it before. He's either first or second with 7 goals, I believe.
First right now, they're tied. Mo Salah
Yeah.
and Jamie Vardy are tied on 7. Yeah. And,
So-
then it's Mikel Antonio on 5. And then Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino.
Firmino just
Skyrocketing his
basically
way up there.
half of the top goal scorers in one
Let's not
game.
forget Neil Maupay sitting in that number 8 position with 4.
Nice.
I mean, what a legend.
Yeah.
He didn't score against Norwich, but what a beast.
He doesn't have to.
I mean, Neil has actually had a decent start to the season.
Mhm.
He's growing on me. I used to not be a huge
Well,
fan.
you guys in general have had a decent start.
I don't know if Norwich is just, let's forget about that.
Yeah, you've had better results though.
No, but remember like 2 years ago when we like beat Man United and then we like beat Arsenal and like we had all these like great results. It was like Glenn Murray era. But the one time we lost to a team twice that was outside of the top 6, we had always like tied once or lost.
I feel like you always beat Tottenham every year.
I'm just saying the one team that that was outside the top 6 that we didn't get any points from both times we played, Cardiff.
Wow.
So like we have that tendency to not take those easy points seriously.
I mean, kind of like Arsenal. To be
Yeah,
honest.
exactly. And then Dom said it's all those cigarettes and Red Bulls. Well, I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about Jamie Vardy. Wait, does Jamie smoke?
I don't know.
I know he does tons of Red Bull.
Red Bull.
every
Yeah, he
single
says
game.
he says Red Bull before every game is what he does. Every season, I think Jamie Vardy is going to fall off due to his age and his reliance on pace, but he keeps proving me wrong. I agree.
that's what Paul
Every
said.
year, I'm like, all right.
Every year since the year they won the title, you're like, it's not.
I always think, well, he'll
No,
score
it's not
maybe
gonna
10
happen again.
goals, but then he scores 15, 20, and then you're like,
It's crazy.
well, he
He's
is a
clearly
top
one
striker.
of the best
Yeah.
strikers in the world. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Paul said Neil Mape will never grow on me, and I'll despise that man. Dude, Neil Mape is such
It's a bit
clown.
biased.
He's such a clown. I love the guy. I mean, he has effectively made the entire footballing world, except for Brighton fans, hate him.
Mm.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it from him. He goes to a ground and he gets booed like every time.
It's not even, I was going to say, it's one of those players that you love to have on your team, but you don't want to have him on the other team.
Yeah.
Not even that. Like, he's not a prolific
He's
scorer.
not, no.
So it's like,
He doesn't show up in big moments. He's not a big scorer.
so you don't even
He's
technically
had the
want
occasional
him.
time where he's injured another team's player.
Yeah.
And he has, when he scores, his sellies. I have to say it's like when he scored against Palace in the last minute, and then he like went up and started doing that crying or whatever.
Yeah, well, Zaha did that
Oh yeah.
in their earlier goal, and then he did the exact same
Yeah,
thing.
he did the same
to-
thing
yeah.
to them. And then like the time before that or something, like one of the players like got injured or something, and then he scored right after, and he started doing the crying one. Like he just finds a way to take the mick.
So
out
it's
of
like,
it.
yeah, that's fun, but also you score maybe 7
Well, yeah,
goals.
6 or 7. But it's great. We love him.
Yeah.
Paul said nobody hates him more than Ty. Yeah, I think.
Yes,
that-
AFTV.
AFTV is not a huge fan of Neil Mape, in my opinion. Not a huge fan, but yeah. Outside of the Premier League, I just want to check to see real quick if there's anything that we should talk about. Let me know in the chat if you guys want to talk about anything more outside the Premier League.
I know Holland and Bellingham are
Yeah.
tearing it up.
Yeah.
Especially Bellingham he's like breaking out this season, even though he was very good last season. Well, he's really contributing goals and assists, while Holland is just
Holland this season has, that just can't be right. There it is. Yeah, so for the UEFA Champions League, 1 game, 1 goal. For the Bundesliga, 6 games, 9 goals, 4 assists. Incredible stats.
Wow. What about Bellingham?
Bellingham, I'm assuming Bellingham will have worse, just because he's more of a playmaker.
I mean, all you have to do
2
is
Champions League
yeah.
games, 1 goal, 2 assists, and
very
then
good.
8 Bundesliga games, 1 goal, 2 assists.
I mean, still
A big game player.
still pretty decent.
Big game player. Paul said, would Lenny rather have Brighton, the Prem or SPA win the state tournament?
Ugh.
This is SPA win the state tournament. We are, if just to give
Same
a little-
question to me. I'd have to agree. SPA.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Southampton will win it at some point.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's-
not in my lifetime. but-
Yeah, I mean, you have to think, if SPA win the state tournament, I'm a part of that.
Exactly.
I'm not. I'm only a
Unless,
fan.
you know, Ralph gives me the call. He's like, we need you.
Yeah, if
right back.
GP hit my line and said,
Basuma's off.
oh no, GP hit my line. Basuma's not coming back. Unfortunately, that
the
CDM
computer
area,
needs a...
yeah, Enoch and Wepu needs a partner in that middle. I would have to take it,
And then we win the league.
and then views might change.
Maybe.
But for now, SPA, and also just a little update to everyone. The SPA team is off to the section final. We'll play St. Paul Humboldt, who is a pretty good team, and we'll play them section final Tuesday. If we win, go out to state tournament. So that's pretty big for us and for our
For school history as well.
The last time that our school has been to state was 2011. So, you know, getting us back to the promised land would be pretty sweet.
Nice.
And then yeah.
One more in the Prem. Like, I was watching the Southampton game, obviously, and then as that finished, saw just the last couple minutes of the
Oh yeah, the
Wolves.
Southampton Leeds game was terrible.
Yeah, it was not good.
Leeds were
We won, but whatever. Supercomputer is wrong, but so the
Enoch
Wolves,
and Wepu was wrong about that one.
the Wolves and Villa game was absolutely crazy. So Villa were up 2-0 for a while. Danny Ings, of course, scored, but up until 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah, this one needs to be talked about.
10 minutes remaining. Wolves get one back. A couple minutes later,
5 minutes remaining. Wolves get another.
Another back.
By the way, two of the most. I mean, they're not the most unlikely scorers, but Connor Cody and Roman Saiz,
two defenders.
Just great stuff from.
And then they get a free kick on the edge of the box. Just terrible foul. I think it was by Ramsey or someone.
And this is in the last minute.
Yeah, and it's just not very smart. And Neves looks up. I'm like, oh, imagine he just puts this away.
Mm-hmm.
Not how I pictured it, but hits off of Matt Target. Completely wrong foot. Emi Martinez goes in the back of the net. The limbs in the away end were
craziness,
insane.
I mean,
like fans running onto the field around. It is a derby, is what I learned.
Really?
Yeah, it's
that's crazy.
They're very close together, like Birmingham and.
Wolves. No, yeah, that and if you think if that game is at any larger scale, I mean the scenes, the scenes coming back from 2 goals down with 10 minutes left,
and then to score a last-minute goal.
I mean, everything's last minute at that point.
Yeah.
To be honest,
all of those goals are last minute.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds you of Man City.
Yeah, exactly.
Dom said humble is not good. Lol. I mean, they are this year. They're actually not bad.
Yeah.
They're a fairly
very even matched game. Make sure to tune in.
Yeah, make sure it'll probably be streamed somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll post that on the COG story. You never know. Get some of the viewers to.
Suddy will have a live stream.
Yeah, Suddy's going to be live streaming on the COG YouTube. He's got different camera angles, just like the podcast itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just go into fantasy, and then we'll go into the quiz, and that will conclude this week's podcast.
Big fantasy week for me.
Really,
I believe.
For myself, it was a below average fantasy week.
Above average for me.
Lewis Dunk is fantastic. I'm so glad I finally put Matty Cash in because he got 6 again this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've always done.
Every single week.
Always on the bench.
I put him on the bench. I'll run through mine first. I got 42 points. The average was 43. The highest was 116. Someone who triple captains for
Of course.
Like, how on earth does that even happen? But yeah, and they had Martial in. Like, that's what?
Yeah.
Why do you have Martial? But yeah, average 43 had 42. Rob Sanchez and net had 6. Then had Ruben Diaz, Dunk, and Cash 1, 9, and 6. Sarr had 2. Harvey Barnes nothing. Fernandez had 5. Gallagher still yet to play actually. So I might get some points there with the Arsenal Palace game. And then Vardy had 8. Mape I captained and only had 4, 2 and 2, obviously the double for the captain, and then Pookie with 1. Not a terrible week if I can get some points from Conor Gallagher, but also not the best.
I had 50 points, so 7 points above the average.
Nice.
My defense completely carried me. 9 for Mendy, 6 across the board for Van Dijk, Christensen, and Livramento. But Ward-Prowse and Adams, I did not check my team, so they were both.
Oh, that's tough for me.
They were both
that's
out.
so tough.
But didn't really help because my bench is Basuma, Bamford, and Tsimikas, which is not great.
Not
but De Bruyne and Fernandez both with 10 and 11 points. So overall, I think it was 50 points above average. It's a very solid week for me. And then for your draft.
So I'm just gonna I'll run through the actual league, and then I'll run through my team. So right now, for me and you, we both actually picked up 3 points this week.
There we go.
Yeah. I played Paul and beat him 37-27, and you played Patrick and beat him 43-28.
Yes.
The standings right now are not as it stands. So, obviously, they will be updated soon, and then I'll be at 15 points. But as of right now, I'm at 12 points, and you're at 15 points. So you'll maybe be leading. Well, is Eli winning? Eli's losing 12-40. So wow. Eli's not gonna pick up points. So you'll skyrocket to the top of the league.
Top of the league.
Unless James also, because you guys are all on 15. Is James winning? James is winning 52-25.
Oh. No.
Dom. So it'll be you and James up there.
Yes.
And then I'll be right behind you with Eli. But yeah, and then my actual draft team, Sanchez got 6, Cresswell got 7, Simicas got 1, Diaz got 1, Embuemo got 2, Mane got 8, Trossard got 3, Benrahma got 3, Mape with 2, Tony with 2, and Saint Maximin with 2. I actually made some trades this week. And also, just so you guys know, I know it's kind of difficult because we're like reading off our team right now, and it's kind of tough because like you can't actually see it. So we're gonna try to find a way in the future to get our actual fantasy teams put up on the screen while we're going through fantasy, so you can just see, and I don't have to like run through the whole lineup, and I can just commentate on it. But I made some changes this week. I brought in Embuemo. I brought in, I believe, maybe Cresswell and I think I had Benrahma before. I made 2 changes. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, you definitely had Benrahma.
Yeah, I think I brought in Cresswell and Embuemo. But yeah, obviously with the draft, it's really just like players that aren't like on a team or free agents, and you can bring them in.
Yeah. For me, it was Salah carrying with Iheanacho, Dunk, Van Dijk, all my top goal scorers. Sadly, Callum Wilson on the bench with 8 points as Newcastle did lose their first game under new owners, but it was a pretty close game, actually.
Yeah.
But either way, on the bench, I wasn't expecting... He has been injured, though, but first couple of games back, and he scored, so maybe he'll make the starting lineup.
Yeah. Paul said, Lenny, you have Firmino in your draft team, and I played you this week. I don't have Firmino in my draft team, Paul. I don't know what you're thinking. I have Mane. I had Sancho last week, but I got rid of him for Embuemo.
That's smart.
Yeah, Sancho's just not. And Embuemo's doing well.
Yes.
I can't figure out who it was that I brought in, but doesn't matter. Yeah, overall, fairly decent string of fantasy games or matches that we had for the draft. And then obviously could have done better on the league front, but at the end of the day, what do you do? So yeah, now we're gonna move over to the quiz. I know that Paul is very excited about this one. Boys, feel free to interact in the chat if you guys are.
We'll delay it a little bit.
Yeah, so we'll do a 30-second delay after each question. And then yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
We can get started right now.
So first question. And I'll ask it to you. We'll just do the usual kind of setup.
While I ponder it, I'll go get a water and then I'll be back. It'll take like 20 seconds. It'll give them time to hear it.
Got you. Who was sent off for Italy as their 37-game unbeaten run came to an end against Spain? This was over the international break, last international break, I believe.
Yeah.
In the Nations League. So was it Bonucci, Chiellini, or Bastoni who was sent off in that game? I think it was the semifinal.
Yeah, it was Euros.
Semifinal. No, Nations League.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, semifinals of Nations League. I think they lost 1-0 or something, but they went down to 10 men and then conceded. Dom says Bonucci. Okay. Paul, waiting for your response. Bonucci, Chiellini, or Bastoni? I don't know. I think I agree with Dom at the moment.
Got some waters for the boys.
Yeah,
I don't know. What did Dom say?
Dom and Paul say Bonucci.
I was thinking Bastoni, but I don't know. I don't know if he played. It seems like a game he would play him though.
Maybe.
I'm going with Bastoni.
2-1, yeah. It was Bonucci. Saw red before halftime. Wow. All right.
I can read the next one. Who scored his first goal for England to the win over Andorra on Saturday? Wait a minute, this is like really recent.
Yeah, these are from last international break.
Yeah. Jack Grealish, James Ward-Prowse, or Tammy Abraham. So, right, for me, I'm thinking...
Well, you're not answering.
Oh, that's true, you're answering. But for me, I'm thinking, if I'm you, has James Ward-Prowse scored a penalty before?
James Ward-Prowse has scored before. It was in the blue away England kit at Wembley in the spring last year. I know that. Tammy Abraham didn't score. Did he score? Well, I know Jack Grealish did, and I know that was his first goal.
Oh, was it actually?
Yeah.
Wait, did Tammy score then? Let me look.
I know. I'm pretty sure it was Grealish.
Yeah, Dom and Paul both
yeah.
said it was Grealish. Let's see here. Hold up, wait. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it is Grealish. I want to see if Tammy actually scored.
All three were on the score sheet, but Ward-Prowse and Abraham had both scored for England prior to the game.
Okay.
I wonder when Abraham did score.
Yeah.
I wonder what game that was. Scott McTominay's last gasp goal for Scotland gave them victory against who? Moldova, Austria, or Israel?
Shoot. Dude, no one actually paid attention to the nations. Like, seriously. Oh, and then after this, we have a really easy question. Definitely so easy. See, this is just a guess. Dom says Israel. Dom, if you looked that up, I swear.
Yeah, we never know with that.
We never know with you two if
Yeah.
you guys are looking it up or not. It's probably Dom probably looked it up.
Yeah.
Dom, if you, I swear, okay.
We shouldn't look at the chat because that kind of influences, I guess.
I'm going to Israel as well.
I watched the highlights. Well, okay, so we know the answer.
So it's Israel.
So we know the answer.
Lovely, Dom.
Thank you for that. They won the game 3-2. Wow, goal fest.
There's no chance you guys know about this one. Let's see here. Who was shown a straight red for Manchester City as they drew 2-2 in their derby with Manchester
Just for
United?
the Women's Super League.
Georgia, Stanway, Jess Park, or Caroline Weir? Let's see how the chat responds to this one. Somehow I know the semifinalists of the 19th, but I don't know who played last week.
Oh, that's true. I remember.
Yeah.
Can't say I've heard of any of these players.
They're all on my radar.
I'm going with Caroline Weir. That's my answer.
I'll go Jess Park. What do you boys think?
Georgia for sure.
Okay.
Georgia Stanway.
Okay. Stanway has a vote from Dom. Let's see here, Paul. Who are you thinking? Stanway, Park, or Weir?
She's the only one I've heard of. Yeah, she actually has a familiar name to me.
Okay, so the straight red goes to Stanway.
Wow.
Dom, that's fantastic from you. That is fantastic from you.
Again, sent off in the first half.
The score 0-0. All right.
Well, we can't do that either, because that's visual.
Yes. We're gonna get a visual aid to help us.
Yeah,
at some point.
this would be a good one for. Okay. Yeah. Ready. Eric Cantona won the 1996 FA Cup final for Manchester United. Who did they beat in that final in 1996?
The FA Cup final in 1996 when they played, or when Eric Cantona won it?
Yeah, Everton, Chelsea, or Liverpool.
Well, let's look at the scarf real quick. Does it have any clues?
Well, we can't.
Oh, they can't. Yeah, they can't see the scarf.
Not that they would. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no clues on it. It has a picture of Eric Cantona holding the trophy, but I was wondering if the scarf he had said versus
Everton, Chelsea, or Liverpool.
I'm gonna go with Everton. It seems like an Everton win.
See, I would also say Everton, just
Paul
because
said Everton.
I feel like they're always in those
FA Cup final
back in the day.
Let's see. We're waiting for Dom on this one. Liverpool.
Okay. Either Merseyside team.
Hey, imagine it's Chelsea.
It's Liverpool.
Dom, you're doing fantastic right now.
Cantona's late goal clinched the double for United. Eric Cantona was the first player to ever score a hat-trick in the... Okay, thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Let's have one more question instigated by Paul.
Okay.
Which side lost the first two Champions League finals of this century? Valencia, Atletico Madrid, or Deportiva La Coruna?
This century? So...
100 years.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Well, okay. First two Champions League final. Well, so the Champions League, right?
See, I was gonna say Valencia.
So right, no, but here's the thing.
Because last quiz, there's something about Champions League and Valencia. Do you remember that? One of the questions had
Valencia. We're on Valencia. See, it's so the thing is, the Champions League wasn't around a century ago.
No, I think they mean century as in 2000. Yeah, 2000. Not like 100 years ago. It was like each century, like 21st century. That's what they mean.
Okay, they should specify that.
Well, it's kind of straightforward.
No, it's not. I mean, if they're saying that they're thinking that like in a century. Did they say in a century or this century?
This century.
Okay, that does make sense. That's poor for me. That's
the
poor for me.
maths.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with Valencia too.
It was Valencia.
Oh, it was Valencia? Okay.
Lost to Real Madrid and then Bayern.
France won the second ever Nations League final on Sunday. Which country won it first? I know the answer.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I know the answer to this.
This is a very easy one. We probably won't even wait.
No, I think we're gonna wait to see if Paul gets this wrong. I think we're gonna wait to see if he gets this wrong.
No way Paul gets this wrong.
Portugal, Spain, or the Netherlands?
Yeah, sorry.
Dom said Portugal.
Wrong.
We're just waiting for Paul.
This is the last question.
This is the last one. Paul, this is tough. This is one of the toughest ones we've had. I swear, if you get this wrong. Yeah, Portugal. Okay, yep, it was Portugal. Everyone in the chat and in the room knows that. Sonny, you knew it was Portugal, right?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Straightforward. Needed to remember.
Wow, so Paul was close there.
Paul, that was the easiest one for me, at least.
Paul would still know the semifinalists of the 1930 World Cup. All right. You don't need to drag it out like that, Paul. Right, we know that you know facts.
All right.
All right, boys. Well, that concludes this week's pod. Next week, we actually won't be having a pod on Sunday. I'm gone. I'm in North Carolina. And the boys are going to be working on their college apps. The other two boys in this room. Although I know producer Sutton just got a sad face as he realized he was going to be working on his college apps. And so, yeah. But maybe we could surprise you guys and do like a Monday episode. But most likely, it'll be 2 weeks. Dom said, "Bro." ...
We're disappointed as well. Dom, you just won the quiz though.
Yeah, so you get to have this feeling of like.
So out of like the two quizzes we've done, Paul definitely won the first, and Dom won the second.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do right now. This is a bold claim, but because the boys are still here. Everyone who is either live with us because they're a fantastic supporter, thank you, Dom and Paul, and who has made it to the end of this episode for the pod this week, is going to hear this. So basically, if you're a loyal supporter and you have made it to the end of the episode and you're listening afterwards, but you listen the whole time, or or you're live with us right now, like Dom and Paul, you're going to hear this. Make sure you come back in 2 weeks. We're going to do another quiz, and the winner is going to get a free sweatshirt.
Oh. Wow.
Okay? Yes. This is we're going to send it to you guys. This is the first time we're going to be doing a giveaway. Yeah. So I kind of just decided this on the fly. But we do have the capabilities to make this happen. So make sure you're here in 2 weeks, no matter what, because whoever wins the quiz, we're going to have like a sheet for the chat. This obviously won't. We're not going to be a part of this.
No,
quiz.
yeah.
We aren't going to be
because we could easily cheat.
We're going to be having
a
sheet for the chat, and we're going to be keeping scores. It's going to be an honor code. You can't cheat at home. Yeah. And the person who gets the best score out of the chat is going to get the free sweatshirt. It's your choice. It's your choice of a normal one, a Hassani of the Week, or a Season 3 one, and if you want a crew neck or a hoodie.
Season 3, baby.
Yeah, Season 3 might be the move.
Maybe some new merch coming in.
There could be in the next month-ish.
Yeah.
We should try to figure out some way to like put the sheet on the thing.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we should have a way so that they can see. Dom said he's currently studying. Yeah, boys, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your moms. Get everyone in the chat.
Yes.
Get everyone working for this because technically speaking, it's a $45, $50 voucher to the Class on Grass podcast store. So I'm just saying that's a pretty good deal right there. So, until next time, hopefully you guys have a great 2 weeks. And you are able to study your butts off for the quiz so that you can be fully ready. No hints about the topic until next podcast. But hopefully you have a great couple weeks. You get to watch a bit of footy. You get to relax. And until then, hope you have a great time. Peace.